You see, I'm multitasking, red light therapy, getting some arm work in, and talking to you guys at the same time.
Someone was detected at your beach access.
And we got people working on the house. It's awesome. Hopefully I won't go out too many times. Anyway, I'm hopping in here doing my red light therapy live. I tried to come live yesterday in the gym. Audio mic wasn't working. Thought I'd hop in here today. I'm gonna drop some game on you on how to improve your relationships. And by doing a practice that my wife and I have been doing for years and that we teach our people how to do is how to emotionally regulate yourself, especially when you're triggered. And if you have a partner that you've called into your life that you absolutely adore, most cases are they trigger the fuck out of you as well, right? Whatever is your gift is also your kryptonite. And it's when you've been married 25 years and a third marriage to get to 25 years, there's some tricks you learn to be able to keep the relationship on track and keep it harmonious. And one of those things is how to emotionally regulate your own emotions. We feel we have, there are 7 core emotions that all of us experience that are God-given, and there are emotions and then there are feelings. And so I'm gonna give you a game between the difference between the two and why it's important to be able to understand them, know who's in the room, and regulate them when it comes to relationships. So you have happy, sad, mad, glad, afraid, shame, and sexual feelings. Sexual feelings could be actual sexual feelings, or they can be blocked creativity, because it all comes from your root chakra, where all your creativity and also your sexual magic comes from. And if you're in a relationship with someone that you've called in, it's been my belief, my wife's belief, that when you call somebody into your life, you call them into your life to help you heal parts of you that maybe were wounded during childhood. So you may have someone that you absolutely love and adore, and they're also the one that can trigger the fuck out of you the fast. They can say something, they can say the same words as someone else says to you that you feel nothing, no reaction. They can say it to you and all of a sudden, get these feelings. Happy, sad, mad, afraid, or shame, sexual feelings. Well, let's deal with mad, sad, and afraid, because those are the ones that we've been taught to not be comfortable with. Thank you. Be comfortable with. And what happens is, to give you this real life example of why I'm actually talking about it today, is the fact that I got up early. I get up like 5 o'clock in the morning. And I usually, if you guys heard, I do my 3-page letter to God. And sometimes it's full 3 pages, and sometimes it's 3 paragraphs. But I still cover the same sections: gratitude, give ups, behaviors, thoughts, feelings, beliefs that I want to give up, and co-create. What am I calling into my life? We're currently in the process of redoing our coaching program. It being very clear to us that 4 months, a lot of magic happens. People release a lot of weight, but we're finding out that they aren't able to regulate their nervous system in that 4-month period of time in order for them to keep the weight off. And if you know, statistically, the average person that loses weight finds it again. That's why we talk about releasing weight. But let me get back to the reason I'm having this live. So I was in creativity mode, sexual feelings mode. So I'm creating and I'm recreating new copy, new guidelines for our program, and I'm sending it out to the team, in Word documents, so they can adjust it, give me some feedback. And my wife comes down. I've been up for 2 hours doing my thing. And of course, there's like the 5-year-old or 8-year-old boy in me, like, that wants to be excited to share all of the stuff that I came up with about the program. And so I'm like anticipating. So there you go. So I'm going to be 64 here in a few weeks, and there is now an 8-year-old version of me, a 7-year-old version of me going, oh, wifey's coming down. And it's basically mommy's coming down, because that's how I'm feeling. I'm going to share with her what I did, and she's going to be so excited and so proud of me and give me that voice, right? So I'm breaking down to you what happens when your inner child comes to the room. And if you're not aware of it, if you're not cognitively aware of who's in the room at any given time, your emotions can get away from you. Therefore, you're not able to regulate. So she comes down, she gets a cup of coffee, and she's in some deep thought. And I go, hey, are you in deep thought? And she goes, no. I said, I'd love to share something with you. And she goes, well, if it's about work or business, I don't want to talk about it right now. Because she's coming down to do her morning thing. Well, what do you think came up in me immediately when I heard her say that. Anger came up in my body. And I was feeling it. I was like, ooh, interesting. And so I have names for my inner children that come through. And Angry Andy came into the room. He came up instantaneously. That's the trigger, right? All she said is, I don't want to talk about it right now if it's about business. Part of it was about me and what I created and what I came up with and how I did it, the process. And part of it was about business. And I said, all right, cool. Let me know when you're ready to. I've actually sent over the documents to a group, to a team. When you're done reading it, let me know. But I can still feel the energy, right? And I can feel the shift in my energy. So now it's not the excited, wifey's here. It is me, angry 8-year-olds in the room, and I see myself shutting down. So I've been doing this practice for a while so I can be aware of it. And so I have another morning ritual. I go out and I do a lot of somatic work and lymph drainage exercises, like an ancient Chinese exercise. I do 3 rounds of it on the beach. So I went out there to do that because I knew I needed to move some energy in my body. And this is the thing this is the real point I want to tell you. We're going to get triggered by our significant others, partners, friends, family members, people that are closest to us. We're going to get triggered. There's going to be an emotion comes up: happy, sad, mad, glad, afraid, shame, or sexual feelings. Most likely the ones that we have the most difficult time with is anger, fear, sadness, shame. Right? So I went out, did my body work, and this is the magic that I want you to land here on this message. My wife and I practice this all the time, but you have to get past the inner child, like the one that goes pissed off, and you have to come back into the sovereign king, the adult. And so I walked in the house and I said, hey, there's some anger in my body, and I want it to be about you, but it has nothing to do with you, and I just wanted you to know that. And she looks at me and she goes, thank you. And she smiles because she knows there's anger in my body. Now you notice how I said there's anger in my body. It's mine. I wanted to be about you, because I want to blame her. I want to point and say, you did this and this is why I feel, but no one can do anything to you. So I said, it's all mine, and I just noticed that it has nothing to do with you. This will save your relationships. This will save you from years of anguish of arguing. If you're able to take personal responsibility for what is yours, when you find yourself pointing the finger at somebody, wanting to outsource your peace, your love, your ability to calm yourself on someone else, and you're pointing fingers at someone else, look what's pointing back at you. There's 3 more pointing back at you. That's the sign that tells you it is yours, right? So it was mine. Now, as soon as I uttered those words, you could see the energy in the room come down. Not only did my inner child step into his king and go, this is mine, has nothing to do with JJ. You were just excited and ready to share your brag on your new, what you built, what you came up with, and she wasn't ready for it at that moment, and you made it mean something. So this is what I want to break down to you in the short. How much time do I have? I got 5 minutes, 57 seconds, and a red light. So how much time I'm going to give myself for this? So remember I said there are emotions that are given by God, and then there are feelings, right? Emotions: happy, sad, mad, glad, afraid, or shame. These are things that were given by God. If any of you have here or listening or watch this live, have any young children, really young children or grandchildren, you'll watch them. You can watch a 2 to 5-year-old, and they'll be playing, and then the brother or sister will come over and they'll take their toy and they'll scream and lose their shit. And then they'll scream and scream, they'll have their temper tantrum. Then all of a sudden they see a new toy, and all of a sudden tears stop, and they go over there and they start playing with the new toy. They moved the energy out of their body. They felt the anger, they felt the sadness, they expressed it, it left their body, so they moved the energy out of their body, and then they went to go onto something else. We were innately taught how to do that. That's what real emotions. Unfortunately, our parents, our caretakers, unbeknownst to them, because they did the best they could with what they had, they told us, don't do that, don't be crying, don't stop, especially if you're a man, don't cry, don't be a sissy, go to your room until you can put a smile on your face. If you grew up in my era, that's how my parents parented. Not wrong, not right, just that's how they knew, right? So when we have that, now a feeling is the story you attach to that emotion. So if I was told to stop crying, then I have anger in my body, but now I can't express that anger because I was told to shut it down, don't do it. I can't express that anger, so now I have a feeling, I have a story attached to it that anger is not safe for me to express. Lots of men have this same issue, and lots of women have it too. Women are easier to tap into sadness, but anger stays down here. And if you ever notice, if you ever had a really good cry, if you really let out the anger, and all of a sudden you find tears coming behind it, is because that's what was sitting on top of it. Don't want to get too deep into the weeds because I wanted to stick with just the relationship part for right now. So, bottom line, if you find yourself with your partner, spouse, closest friend, whoever you love the most, and you find yourself in a triggered state, that you're starting to feel wounded, disrespected. You have a story, right? They hurt your feelings. I want you to remember this live and go, they can't do anything to you. They can physically punch you, but they cannot say a word to you and hurt your feelings. Your feelings were hurt a long time ago, between ages of 0 and 7. You had a feeling, you had an emotion, then you made a feeling about it, you made a story about it. That adult human that you're married to or partnered with said something that reminded you, brought up an old memory, old shit about what you were feeling, and you felt that same emotion again, and you tied it to the person that you're with. Once you understand that the feelings are yours, they're no one else's, and that you learn how to emotionally regulate your feelings and emotions and take full ownership of them, and learn techniques and practices, even just the awareness that this is mine, has nothing to do with them. Even if I want it to be about them, it has nothing to do with them. And you regulate, your relationship with your partner will change dramatically. Part 2. And I'll maybe do part 3 tomorrow. Part 2. When you see your partner or someone in a state, happy, sad, mad, glad, afraid, shame, sexual feelings, they're blocked creativity. But I'll leave that one out for now. Say sad, mad, and afraid, and you are wanting to fix it, do something about it, right? Just know that that is theirs. You cannot externally do anything about it other than understand and be with them through the process. If you were trained like me from a very young age to fix the feminine problem, then that is something you get to grow out of, and we can teach you how to do that. But ultimately, I want you, if you see them, just ask yourself, in the moment that they are yelling, screaming, crying, whatever the case may be, you just look at them and go, how old do you think they are in that moment? Just ask yourself, how old are they being? Because come on, you ladies out there go, my husband acts like a 9-year-old sometime, or a 16-year-old. My wife is acting like a 5-year-old. You see the 5-year-old in that. If you have a 5-year-old grandchild or a 5-year-old child, or you ever had children, look at them in that state, and how would you show up? You'll look at them, shut down, walk away, or ignore their feelings? Or would you, I see you, baby, I see you're sad, I got you, whatever you need, and just know it's not about you. Even if they say it's about you, know it's not about you, and show up for them in a way as you would show up for your 5-year-old child, 5-year-old grandchild, any child, right? And if you don't have kids, nephews, whatever, right? You get the point. You will energetically shift the energy in the room. You will show up so freaking differently for them. You'll watch them soften. You men, you'll watch your wives soften. You wives, you'll watch your partners soften. They won't even know why they're softening. They won't even know why they stopped being triggered. They will be like your 5-year-old who got pushed and they took the toy away and he was pissed off for a second, and then he saw a new toy and he went there and went, oh, interesting. If you think I'm wrong, just practice. Just practice this over the next 24 hours and then come back and leave me a comment. Hey, I did this emotional regulation thing. I took responsibility for my own feelings and realized it's mine. I asked myself, how old am I in this feeling? And remember, just how old do you think you are? You may not remember the memory, the original trigger, but you will connect that, ooh, I do remember feeling this at a younger age. And then you can show up for yourself differently. Lights are off, time's up. And if you're having an argument or discussion or some sort of energy with someone else that you care about, a coworker, family member, look at them at the moment and don't say you're acting like a 5-year-old, because they'll really get pissed at you. Just think to yourself, ooh, how old are they right now? And what do they need? What would I give to my son, my grandson, my nephew, my niece, and give it to them and watch how they shift. Do that over the next 24 hours. Come back and leave me a comment on how it worked for you. And if it went sideways, let me know that too. I'm more than happy to help you. But my time is up. I get back to doing arms. Did my red light therapy. Got that done today. I appreciate you guys being here. I see somebody, Lord, say Hummington, Lil, could be a Lily's here, Lord here, Black Girl with the envy's here. I appreciate you guys. Chris, you're here. I appreciate you guys stopping in from us live. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, leave me a comment. If you have some questions about what I just share it with you guys. Leave me a comment. I appreciate you being here. I'll be back again with some more life tips from a 65-year-old man. Talk to you soon. Peace.